The movie opens with some secret government agents, led by Sergeant George, who seem to be on some sort of mutant hunting mission. They arrive at an organization building where they approach a man named Joseph, who works there as a janitor. Turns out, Joseph is one of the genetically enhanced human beings who possesses supernatural abilities. George introduces himself and claims to be aware of Joseph's true identity. He asks him to accompany them, but the latter asserts that he hasn't done anything wrong. When the agents refuse to listen to his pleas, Joseph throws his mop at them and runs away from the scene. The agents chase him down and eventually corner him inside a storage unit. They take out their advanced weapons to apprehend him, but Joseph uses his powers to leap out to the roof to escape. However, his efforts prove futile, as there are sniper agents and a drone in position to track him down. Subsequently, the agents subdue him with an advanced taser, administer a sedative, and take him back to their clandestine facility called CISA. Later, at CISA headquarters, George is approached by Captain Williams, who tells him that these enhanced humans are very dangerous, as they're capable of arbitrary killings. When George informs that Joseph only tried to run, the captain asserts that some of them are deceitful and advises him to be careful. William also mentions an elusive enhanced guy who has been killing his own kind, but they have no lead on him. In the next scene, we are introduced to another enhanced human, Anna, who is seen working in a car garage. The owner of the garage, Danny, is a kind gentleman who has been trying to get a fake passport for Anna so that she can escape to China. One day, they're visited by a local gangster named Marco and his men, with whom Danny has been dealing to get the fake documents. However, things take a wrong turn, as Marco demands for more money. When Danny refuses to comply, Marco orders his men to beat him up. This enrages Anna, who then uses her superpowers to take down all the gangsters in no time. Amidst the chaos, Danny is fatally shot, prompting Anna to call 911 for help. Following this, she grabs her fake passport and flees the scene. George and his team intercept the emergency call and begin tracking her down using their advanced watch-like device. Anna cycles back to her minivan, in which she has been staying. As she prepares to leave, she is approached by a stranger who claims that he is here to help her. However, she doesn't believe him and pushes him down with her power before driving off. Unbeknownst to her, she is being pursued by the government agents in another vehicle. After driving for a while, Anna finally senses the pursuit, so she immediately changes her way, driving through a narrow path. Despite this, the agents keep tracking her with their drone. Suddenly, there is a burst of energy that shuts off all their tracking devices, including Anna's truck. The agents react quickly and rush towards her last known location. They soon surround her van and order her to surrender herself. Anna steps out and kneels down on the ground. Just like Joseph, she also tries to prove her innocence, claiming that she hasn't harmed anybody, but the agents don't listen. They start electrocuting her with their taser gun, which disturbs her greatly. This raises her anger, so she throws all of them away with a force field. Anna then makes her way inside an abandoned barn, followed by George. Choosing the right moment, she ambushes him, and a physical altercation ensues between the two. George uses a flash grenade to block her vision, and then tasers her again. But as he is about to inject her with a sedative, another enhanced human, David, shows up from behind and knocks him down. In the next scene, David drives the two into a secure place where he ties George to a chair. He then wakes him up and presses him to divulge the whereabouts of other captured enhanced people. When the sergeant refuses to provide any information, David prepares to kill him. Just before the situation escalates, Anna intervenes, asserting that arbitrary killings are unjustifiable. David listens to her and gives George until morning to divulge the information. He then walks away, leaving the two alone. Following this, Anna asks for the reason why George was hunting her down, to which he replies that the enhanced people are harmful. He also tells her that he has read her file, exposing her history of killing numerous people, including her parents and her therapist. At this point, Anna discloses the truth. She was taken away from her parents at the age of 4 and doesn't even know who they are. After that, she was adopted by a government organization called CISA that experimented on her and trained her to be a killer. They threatened to kill her if she didn't comply with their orders. She further reveals the reason why her therapist died. The therapist gave her a name instead of calling her by her assigned number, so the higher-ups executed her for humanizing her. Upon hearing all of this, George realizes that he hasn't been told the full truth about the program he's working for. The following morning, David, in his monitoring room, detects approaching government agents. As a result, he sets out to confront them alone. Soon after, a fierce fight ensues between the two parties. Amidst the struggle, the agents manage to tase him and administer him with a sedative, but David remains unaffected. He takes down all the agents except for an officer named Scott, who manages to escape back to headquarters. Meanwhile, George tries to convince Anna that David might be dangerous, suspecting him to be the one who is killing his own kind. Their discussion is suddenly interrupted by Joseph, who is now in possession of a red blinking device on his neck. He breaks into the house and starts attacking Anna. While the two fight, George manages to untie himself and then injects Joseph with a sedative. The sergeant is shocked because he was told that Joseph will be eliminated in the facility. Anna then reveals that the red blinking device is a reprogramming tool used by the CISA to control enhanced people, turning them into involuntary weapons. This revelation finally convinces George that he has been deceived by his organization, and he now decides to help Anna. In the next scene, they get onto snowmobiles and make it to the main road. There, they're approached by the same stranger, who again offers to help Anna. The guy is reluctant to trust George, but Anna manages to convince him that he's on their side. He then drives the two of them to his secret house, where they meet another enhanced guy, Lou. The stranger also introduces himself as Eli, who used to work for CISA as an analyst. However, he didn't know that the organization was actually experimenting on people, and he found out only when the facility got attacked by David. As they converse, Eli unveils CISA's attempt to create a super serum and access another dimension with infinite energy. However, to harness this energy, they needed to reach its source, that is none other than David. Here, it's revealed that David is not an actual human, but an interdimensional being who doesn't age, nor does he die. When CISA absorbed his energy to inject it into humans, David lost his ability to return back to his dimension. Since then, he has been tracking down all the enhanced humans and reabsorbing his energy, killing them in the process. Once he regains his full power, he can open the portal to return home. According to Eli, the only way to kill David is to weaken him to the point that he won't be able to regenerate himself, and then deliver a final blow. Armed with this knowledge, George decides to return to the headquarters and assemble his team, along with some advanced weapons, to eliminate the threat. But before he can leave, David shows up at the door and kills Eli. Lou then instructs George and Anna to run away, while he decides to stay behind and fight David. After a few minutes of fierce fight, David overpowers Lou and absorbs his energy. Meanwhile, George and Anna are trying to escape in a car, but David catches them in the nick of time. He throws Anna away and drops a large container on her. Following this, he proceeds to absorb her energy, but George stops him. He forwards a deal. He'll take David to the place where all the captured enhanced people are kept, but only if he spares Anna. David accepts the deal, and the two drive towards the secret government facility. Anna, who is still under the container, musters up all of her power to get out of it. On the way, George asks David about his motive, to which the latter responds that he needs to go back to his dimension. Furthermore, he expresses his disdain for the current dimension, and he pities humans for living in this kind of hellish place. While David is talking, George slowly grabs a taser from the vehicle and pushes him out of the car before driving away. The sergeant then arrives at the headquarters to warn the team about the imminent threat. However, he is stopped at the entrance and cuffed before talking to Captain Williams. He tells the captain about David's intention and how they should work together to neutralize the threat. Regardless, Captain Williams is aware that he has been helping the enhanced people, which is against their protocol, so he does not believe in him. The captain also reveals his multiple reprogrammed enhanced people, whom he intends to use as a weapon to confront David. George tries to explain that David will absorb all the energy from them, which will only make him stronger. However, the undeterred captain doesn't listen to him and locks him in his cell. All of a sudden, an alarm goes off, and the security cam reveals David, who is incapacitating all the guards at the entrance door. Williams then dispatches 3 of his enhanced humans after him, but they are no match for the formidable David. After subduing everyone in his path, he makes it to Williams and kills him instantly. He then turns to George and tells him that Anna will suffer because of him. Just then, Anna shows up and challenges him to try making her suffer. The two of them get into an intense fight, while George continues his attempts to break out of the cell. David, who has become much stronger now, is able to defend all of her attacks and starts beating her up badly. Eventually, he knocks her down and proceeds for a final strike. But just then, Officer Scott appears from behind and shoots him with a rifle. Furious, David turns around and delivers a powerful blow, ripping his insides out. At the same time, George frees himself and launches his attack on the villain, but he soon gets overpowered. David then proceeds to finish him off, but Anna attacks him from behind, resuming their fierce battle. In the meantime, the injured George grabs the captain's device and uses it to unlock all the cell doors. He then crawls his way towards a button and triggers it to release a gas that slowly disables all superpowers. Now with no power left, David weakens and starts feeling pain in the body. Anna takes this opportunity to beat him up, eventually knocking him down to the floor. She picks up a gun to finish him off once and for all. In his debilitated state, David pleads for mercy, imploring Anna not to kill him. When she hesitates, George takes the firearm from her and guns him down without any second thought. The scene then cuts to 4 months later, and we see Anna living a simple life as a mechanic. One day, she meets George, who hands her the details of all the enhanced humans, urging her to help them get a normal life as well. In the final scene, we see another enhanced young man going through his daily routine. As he gets ready for work, he hears a ring at the door and goes to answer. It's none other than David, who says that he has come to take something that belongs to him. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.